Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of my Misty series featuring layering stamps. I have done all my videos live so far, but this time I had to do a voiceover because I babbled way too much. So I'm going to take a 4 by 5 1/4 panel here of Neenah Solar White cardstock, and I'm going to use Simon Says Stamp Sunshine ink and Creme Brulee and Canary ink from Close to My Heart. And I'm going to be stamping some flowers from the Vintage Flower stamp set from Altenew. These are really, really great because they're layering and they make everything look super realistic. And Altenew has come out actually with some mini inks to go along with these stamps that you can pre-order right now. They're just on back order for a little while. I've ordered them myself and I'll put a link below in the description. I'm going to put the first layer, which is the solid layer, down. I'm going to stamp light to dark since that seems to be the way to do it. If I'm showing you how to Misty, I should probably do it correctly and put in my foam pad since this is a clear stamp. Sorry about that, guys. And I'm just going to pick up the first layer. Remember to keep your cardstock in the corner here. Now, if you were going to be doing bulk cards on these layering here, you would stamp like I'm doing right now in Canary ink once, and then you would put your next card panel in and stamp again, and stamp again, and stamp again. But I'm just showing you this, and layering cards is coming in a different episode. Next, I'm going to place the second layer of these roses. Absolutely love how lifelike these roses, or these flowers look, sorry, not roses, because they're just these gorgeous layers and you can't achieve them using any other stamps I find as well as these ones. Next, I'm going to stamp using the Creme Brulee ink from Close to My Heart. If you don't have a medium tone, what you can do is stamp the first tone that you stamped in twice onto this, and it would be also a way of getting a medium tone in case you don't own a lot of inks. And then lastly, I'm going to put on the last and final layer of these flowers. As you can see, my hands just go in there. I'm just babbling away about nonsense and Harry Potter. I don't even know. I had to do a voiceover. I couldn't do it. Sunshine ink from Simon Says Stamp. Stamp that down there to create a third layer. Now I'm back to the live portion of the video.
Now, I wanted to add some leaves, but I want the leaves to be behind the flower, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to grab some masking paper here. Now, masking paper, I'm using masking paper from Simon Says Stamp. There's lots of different kinds available. It's just pretty much a sticky paper, or sort of like a Post-it note, which you could use as well. And I'm just going to cut it out. It's sticky on adhesive backed on one side and regular paper on the other. Okay, so I hope I didn't cut that out too quickly without much attention to detail, just for video's sake. So I'm just going to peel off the back layer. Sometimes it takes me a couple of tries here. But I find the Inka Dinka Doo masking paper is easier to take off, but I don't have any left. Okay, so now that I have my masking layer on there, I'm going to remove my stamp and I'm going to move on to some leaves. Now from this set here, I'm going to use two different kinds of leaves. I'm going to use this set here, and then I'm going to use this set here. Sorry, this one here. It's also a part of that first set I pulled off. And for the greens today, I'm using Midnight Green as my darkest, Green Leaf as my middle, and New Sprout, Memento, and Simon Says Stamp. As I said, I want them behind the flower, so I'm going to actually be able to do these two at a time. So I'm going to just clean up my thing here with a baby wipe first. Now I'm going to pick up both stamps, readjust that back into the corner here, and I'm going to ink those up with my lightest color.
Alright guys, this is the New Sprout from Memento ink. I went on another rant there, so I had to go in and do a voiceover again. Just stamping the lightest layer first, and then I'm going to go in and do the medium tones. And what's really cool about this, again, is that you can stamp both of these at the same time. Save a lot of time there for you. And you can even go in and do a whole bunch of leaves and foliage if you're interested in doing that. And the second layer I'm doing is the green apple from Simon Says Stamp. I did notice as I was stamping here that the New Sprout is actually way too light, that it does not look realistic, and I just went in at the end and fixed that up there. So I'm going to go in with a third layer first, and I'm going to do the Midnight Green by Simon Says Stamp, which is a very dark sort of pine needle color, and pick both of those up at the same time. This time it's really just the line of the stamp, and it's really subtle for the darkest color, which is really, really beautiful. And remember that our mask is protecting that area of the flower. So I went in with another green. I went in with bamboo leaves from Memento here and just fixed up the fact that it was way too light, and I think it looked much better in the end when I had fixed that mistake. As you can see, it looks much more realistic, and here I'm able to remove my mask now, and you see how great that looks, and the leaves are actually behind the flower. How phenomenal is that? Alright, time to slow it down here. I'm going to be using the Big Bold U stamp from William Walter, and I'm going to be stamping this thanks, and I'm actually going to be using the Hero Arts Ombre ink pad. I think it's Grey to Black or whatever it is called. I have all the links again below in the description just in case you're looking for that product. And I'm going to be stamping that here. I just recently did a review on the ombre inks and I'm slowly learning how to use them. You can use them actually vertically or horizontally depending on the look you're looking for. I personally like my ombre horizontal and not vertical, which poses a few problems. But overall I like the way that it looked, and it gave it almost like a watercolor look. I really like the way that it turned out there. So I'm going to stamp that again using my Misti. As you can see, it stamps perfectly down, and I had no issues whatsoever with that, and you'll see the sort of light to dark look in that sentiment.
Okay, so to finish off our flowery goodness, I'm going to need a few supplies. Just a few. I'm going to start off with a card base. It measures 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it at 4 1/4 in the middle, and I'm going to just make a crease there. I decided to cut this down, this panel here. It now measures 3 1/4 by 5. And because I thought it looked a little plain going on the background, so I wanted to add a piece of vellum for interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my Tombow Mono liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to put some glue down here, not on the edges, because on the vellum you'll see through that, and we don't want that. And then I'm going to glue down my card panel. Once again, this was a scrap, so there is a flower stamped on the back. That's my flower in pink, by the way. Okay, and I think that that looks a lot classier than just having it against the yellow itself. Now I'm going to add a couple of embellishments here and call it day.
So I decided against using the washi tape actually when I was creating my card, and I went in with some lily white sequins from Doodlebug. I love the container they come in. I love that it comes with lots of them. I love that they're inexpensive, and I love that I can color them with my Copic, so I never need to buy another color of sequins again. The greatest thing I'm pretty sure I've bought in a long time, other than the Misti, of course. And I used my pick-me-up tool here to do a little bit of card surgery with some Tombow Mono glue on a piece of scrap paper, and I was able to push those down here. And that was pretty much the end of my card tutorial today. So I hope you enjoyed today's card on layering stamps, and that you'll continue on with the Misti series. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Have a wonderful day.